Hey Joe, how's it going?
Hi, Duncan.
Hello.
I'm all okay. You okay?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Yeah. You've entered the kind of business end of the Six Nations now, and you're still in with a chance of winning the title. What's the mood in the camp like?
Yeah, mood's good. Sun's out. Um, Great training session. Really nice, tasty one actually. And boys are really looking forward to another game at Twickenham.
Was it tastier than usual, the training session?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say it was a bit more of a step up. There's definitely a bigger sense of okay, Ireland are very good. England Wales games are always big, and you know that come kick off, it's going to be tasty there. But with the greatest of respect, Wales were missing a fair few names, and there was probably a little bit more expectation on us to win that game. Whereas Ireland are full bore; they've been together for some time now, and it was definitely noticeable in training where boys were like, "Okay, serious game this Saturday." Not saying that last Saturday wasn't serious, because I know how the media sometimes can twist things. That's a generalisation, I know, but just double checking and covering my own arse.
So when it's a feistier than normal training session, how do you notice that? Are there little flare-ups? Does
Yeah, Genji punched me 4 times, and he put my nose that way, and then he put it that way, and then the other time were like rib shots. No, the hits tend to be a little bit more stickier, and there's a little bit more sharpness. Whenever I try and make a gag, sometimes I'll get a couple of laughs out of it. But today, not having any of it, it was almost like the look of me of like looking at me like, "Shut up," and I was like, "Okay, right, you're not serious today."
okay, great, thanks, Joe.
What? You're welcome.
Thanks, Duncan. Pat McCarry, please.
Hey Joe, how's it going? How are things?
Hi Pat, I'm good. You okay?
I'm very good, thanks very much.
Good.
Listen, just again, it's just the kind of the inevitable ones when you have the kind of the front row, the guys who are going to be facing up against each other. But just your own thoughts on Tyg Furlong and kind of having been on the lines with him before and then kind of having faced up against him so many times. What's he like as a guy and what's he like as a guy to play against?
Yeah, I'm still trying to work out. He told me on that tour in 2017 that he was a truffle pig farmer, and I to this day have still not worked out whether he was trying to pull my leg or not. Do you use pigs for like to seek out
Yeah, I
truffles?
actually think you do.
You do?
But I'm not
Do you know whether you do that, Pat?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Have you heard that he's from a pig farming truffle family?
I just heard he's mad into farming. He could bend the ear off you for around half an hour about it.
Okay, well that's it. And then in terms of the stuff on the pitch, he's world class. I think he's actually stepped up his game um, around the field, particularly in attack, even more so this season. You've seen in this tournament that he's standing more at like second, third receiver off of the 10. So they're doing a lot of playmaking through him, and he's just so comfortable on the ball. And it's actually really, I try and think of it sometimes as a fan, and you go, well, look at that massive lump on the field that you just think is just going to bend over and push, but then he's also so comfortable on the ball, his work rate, and it's really good to see as a fan that he's sort of not ahead of the game, but the likes of him and Carl Sinclair just taking front row play to another level.
Perfect. Thanks, Joe.
No worries.
Thanks, Pat. Ben Jacob, please.
Hi Joe, how you doing?
Hi Ben, you okay?
Yeah, good, thanks. You've been doing a lot of social media work on Instagram and TikTok during the Six Nations. I must say the content's fantastic. Do you think building an online presence through social media should be more encouraged in the game?
100%. If you want to attract a new audience, a big part of that is youngsters, and TikTok is for young people. Instagram is very much for younger people. Even when I was asked to go on TikTok, I was like, I'm not entirely sure what this is. It's so beneath me. So can you imagine how Rob Kitson feels about TikTok? He's really, don't even get me started on Alex Spink. Oof. It it's a really good way of engaging, and I think it should be used more often. Not at the level that maybe you forget about the actual key job of playing rugby, but it's just that I think it's a nice, fun way to engage a different audience.
No, that's fantastic. Back to the rugby. Former Ireland head coach Eddie O'Sullivan described Saturday's game as going to be like a barroom brawl. Is that how you see the game going?
Jesus. Well, I'm trying to think of the last barroom brawl I was in. Is it going to be like that? No. It's going to be tasty. They're very, very aggressive at the breakdown. They love chucking numbers in there. I think off the top of my head, you get like 40 plus attempts at attacking our breakdown from Ireland. So it is going to be a ding dong. And did you say that was Eddie O'Sullivan that said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a fair assumption. I quite like that. A nice clean bar brawl though, none of the dirty stuff. No gouging or glass throwing, just the clean stuff.
Brilliant. Thanks, Joe. Cheers.
Excellent.
Thanks. And just looking at timing, we'll finish the live section with Liam. Thank you.
Hey Joe, how are you? How are things?
Hi Liam, okay? You okay?
I'm good, yeah, all good. Yeah, I'm just wondering about this Six Nations. You've been able to come in and out of camp, whereas last season you said no to the Six Nations because it was a full bubble for the 8 weeks and you weren't able to come in and out. I'm just wondering how's it suited you going back to Harlequins in these fellow weeks, and what's it done for you just in terms of like your attitude and your enthusiasm being in England camp for these sort of games now?
Yeah, I guess for me at the age that I'm at now, going in and out, going back to the club, contributing there in the Prem, but also going back to my family. Me personally keeps me like fresher. Although, maybe that seems silly because I go back and then play like 75, 80 minutes for the club, but it just freshens me up mentally to then go, right, I'm back in helping the boys prep for the next game, and then I can get home and help with the kids, especially with, I don't want to bore you, but my wife had 9 days with no power and hot water and all that lot. So trying to deal with that in camp was a bit of a nightmare. If anyone's got any contacts at UK Power Networks that wants to help me with some compensation there, that would be great. Anyway, I think for me now where I'm at, I need those little in and out breaks, and I've enjoyed it. It's kept me fresh to come in and give a bit more energy to the group. Okay,
and Ellis Genge has been the starting, Lou said, for the 3 games so far. He hasn't done that so far in the Six Nations. He's normally been a sub or not been in the match to 23. I'm just wondering, what have you seen from him the last month, just in terms of like his game coming on by getting to play Six Nations consistently like that?
His maturity has accelerated, and the leader that he's become in the group, the respect that he's got of the whole group is huge. His knowledge is underrated. I think a lot of people see him as just this aggressive ball carrier who's just in your face, but his actual knowledge of the game is second to none. And he's really starting to come of age in the sense of the set piece work. Still learning, as in a lot of young boys still learning, but he's winning more of those battles than he was before. And he's also adding that abrasive carrying that he can do week in, week out in the Prem that he not necessarily has been able to do because he's been doing it off the bench in bit parts previously. But now he's starting the games and he's showing his qualities there. So, yeah, Genji's been massive for us, and long may it continue.
What's your rivalry with them like?
Like I said earlier, he punched me 4 times in today's session. So, that's up to him. If he wants to behave like that, that's cool. I will get him back later.
Good man, Joe. Thank you. Go well.